Essen, 1910. The Ruhr Valley, Germany's industrial heartland. 75 miles of railway track inside factory walls. 67,000 workers clocked in each morning. 5 square kilometers of furnaces, forges, and smoke. Krupp, Europe's largest company. Germany's armorer. The woman who owned it was 24. The cannons she produced would tear Europe apart. The Krupp Dynasty began in 1811, a small steel workshop. 5 employees struggling with crucible steel. 3 generations later, the family employed 20,000. Alfred Krupp, the Cannon King. Railways, artillery, vertical integration, mines in Germany and France. By his death in 1887, Krupp was an industrial empire. His son expanded further. Shipyards in Kiel, armor plate for battleships, new steel alloys, 40,000 workers in Essen alone. Then, scandal. The son died on Capri in 1902. Rumors of suicide. Homosexual allegations filled newspapers. His daughter Bertha inherited everything at 16. A woman couldn't run an arms empire. Not in 1902. Not in Germany. Kaiser Wilhelm II personally searched for a suitable husband. Chose Gustav von Bohlen und Halbach, Prussian diplomat, posted at the Vatican. They married in October 1906. The Kaiser attended. Announced Gustav could add Krupp to his name and Count. Gustav Krupp von Bohlen und Halbach. Chairman of the board by 1909. Bertha remained owner. Gustav managed, but observers noticed she directed affairs from behind. She walked the factory floors alone. Workers said she remembered their names, the Steely Queen of Krupdom. By 1910, Krupp works stretched across Essen like a state within a state. Blast furnaces fed rolling mills. Rolling mills fed forges. Forges fed the cannon workshop, all connected by 75 miles of internal railway. Locomotives moved steel ingots from building to building, day and night. The factory had its own coal mines, its own power plants, its own hospitals and schools, company housing for thousands. Margarethenhohe Garden suburb under construction. 2-story houses with central heating and bathrooms. Revolutionary for workers. Margaretha Krupp, Bertha's mother, donated 50 hectares and 1,000,000 marks. Paternalism with control. Krupp subsidized food, provided pensions, built swimming pools. In return, loyalty oaths. Written permission to use toilets. No unions. No socialism. Workers called themselves Kruppianer, loyal to the company as to the nation. 40,000 in Essen, 67,000 company-wide. Germany's largest private employer. The product line expanded. Railway wheels, locomotives, ship propellers, mining equipment, consumer goods under the slogan, "We make everything." But the core remained. Artillery. In 1909, Krupp unveiled Big Bertha, 420mm howitzer, named after the boss, designed to demolish Belgian and French forts. Could fire shells weighing nearly a ton. Range 9 miles. Tested in secret. Ordered by the General Staff. The siege gun that would open Germany's invasion routes. International clients lined up. Russia bought Krupp field guns. Turkey purchased battleship armor plated with Krupp steel. Warships like the Goeben. 28-centimeter naval guns. South American governments placed orders. Austria, China, Japan. Krupp exported weapons to nations that would soon aim them at each other. Gustav joined the Kaiser Wilhelm Society, elite scientific institution. His company pioneered metallurgy research, new steel alloys, technical prowess combined with political connections. The Krupp Villa in Essen held suites for the Kaiser's visits. Wilhelm II came often, toured the factories, praised the cannons, called German boys hard as Krupp steel in speeches. Gustav lobbied for military expansion, pushed for larger army budgets. More soldiers meant more rifles, more artillery, more contracts. In November 1912, Krupp celebrated its centennial, three-day festival. Kaiser Wilhelm II came, Prime Minister, all German princes, industrial elite. Bertha hosted. She was 26. She greeted each guest personally, directed staff with precision. Later, over dinner, she spoke with the Chancellor about steel contracts. Gustav consulted her on major decisions. The factories hummed. Sales increased fourfold between 1903 and 1913. The workforce nearly doubled. Essen's skyline was chimneys. Smoke blocked the sun on working days. Krupp had ordered factory photographs taken on Sundays because weekdays carried too much smoke and restlessness. Workers lived in company housing, shopped at company stores, sent children to company schools, retired on company pensions. A city within a city. Krupp City. The Belgian government watched nervously. Intelligence reports detailed Big Bertha specifications. French military planners ran fortress defense drills. Everyone knew what Krupp steel meant. Europe armed itself. Krupp supplied half the continent. August 1914. The guns spoke. Big Bertha arrived at Liège. Belgian forts designed to stop any siege. Krupp's howitzers fired from miles away. Shells weighing 900 kilograms crashed through concrete and steel. Forts that were supposed to hold for months fell in days. The same pattern at Namur, at Maubeuge. Krupp artillery opened the invasion routes. German armies poured through. Paris gun followed. 130-kilometer range. Shelled Paris from 75 miles away in spring 1918. Another Krupp design. Submarines built at Kiel shipyards. Armor plate for battleships. Field guns. Howitzers. Shells by the millions. By 1918, Krupp employed 170,000 workers. The war economy ran on Essen steel. Gustav Krupp became one of Germany's most powerful industrialists. Bertha rarely appeared in public during the war. She managed the social programs, visited wounded workers, maintained the welfare system while her husband ran production. 4 years of total war. 4 years of Krupp steel killing Europeans. The company profited from both sides, indirectly. Before the war, Krupp had leased a fuse patent to British manufacturer Vickers. After the war, Vickers paid settlement based on German artillery casualties. Krupp profited from Germany's own war dead. November 1918. Germany lost. The Treaty of Versailles banned arms manufacturing. Allied inspectors arrived in Essen. Krupp was forced to dismantle production lines, shift to locomotives and agricultural machinery. 70,000 workers laid off. But severance pay continued. Social programs maintained. Gustav knew, keep the Kruppianer loyal. In 1923, French troops occupied the Ruhr, inspected Krupp factories. Workers cornered French soldiers in a garage. The soldiers opened fire. 13 dead. Krupp held a large public funeral. The French jailed him. Germany made him a national hero, released after 7 months. Behind the scenes, secret rearmament. Submarine designs perfected in Holland. Cannons tested in Sweden. Krupp prepared for the appointed hour. Gustav's words. The Weimar Republic cooperated quietly. The military evaded Versailles restrictions. Krupp designed weapons in secret. The Depression hit. Communists gained seats. Gustav's skepticism toward the Nazis faded. Hitler promised to destroy unions, rearmament contracts, protection for industry. January 1933. Krupp, as chairman of German industrialists, encouraged business leaders to fund Hitler's campaign. The Nazi government delivered. Unions crushed, leftists arrested, arms production resumed. June 1934. Hitler toured Krupp factories. Enthusiastic reception. Bertha's daughter presented welcoming flowers. Bertha herself pleaded illness. Called Hitler that certain gentleman. Refused to meet him. But contracts flowed. The company boomed again. Ownership passed to Bertha's son Alfred. Hitler's decree. The Second World War eclipsed the First. Krupp produced artillery, tanks, submarines. Over 100,000 concentration camp inmates worked as slaves. Factories built inside Auschwitz. Allied bombs destroyed much of Essen. 55 attacks on the works. A third of buildings gone completely. Alfred stood trial at Nuremberg. War crimes. 12 years prison. Property confiscated. Gustav was too ill, senile, bedridden from strokes. He died without ever facing trial. Bertha returned to Essen when Alfred was released. Cold War priorities. American authorities granted clemency. Alfred resumed control. American Marshall Plan dollars helped rebuild the factories. Former enemies became allies. No more weapons. Elevators now. Industrial equipment. Steel for construction instead of war. Bertha became beloved in the city. Charitable work, hospital visits. She walked the rebuilt streets, spoke with workers' widows. The war faded in local memory. She died in September 1957. The Krupp name survived through merger. Thyssen-Krupp today still operates from Essen. Their elevators rise in American buildings. Margarethenhöhe garden suburb remains intact. Heritage protection. The houses Margarethe funded in 1910 still shelter families. Central heating, bathrooms. Revolutionary once. The weapons are museum pieces. Furnaces cold. Internal railways torn up decades ago. Villa Hugel stands empty most days. Tourists walk the grounds where Kaisers once stayed. For 40 years, Krupp armed Germany. Built steel that built wars. Employed hundreds of thousands. Shaped an industrial city. Defined an era. The woman who owned it rarely spoke. Bertha Krupp von Bohlen und Halbach. 16 when she inherited. Married for politics. Managed from shadows. Never met Hitler by choice, but the company bore her name. Big Bertha demolished forts. Paris guns shelled civilians. Submarines hunted convoys. All stamped Krupp. One family ran it. 2 world wars fed it. Millions died from it. The dynasty ended. The company transformed. The city rebuilt. But some names carry weight. Some legacies don't fade. Steel remembers everything. Krupp armed a nation. The nation lost twice. History doesn't forget. Steel doesn't rust. Some costs remain.